Instead of singing about love, alcohol, heartbreaks, and drugs, navuta kishash, navuta kibangi.
Yeah.
This is a good opportunity for them to actually infuse some political education, and we saw it during the Gen Z movement. I don't know why it died down.
Okay.
They need to infuse this into their music, into their art.
They did die down.
No, it did not.
Let me just sorry, Caswell.
Yeah.
Our editorial guidelines do not allow you to wear branded merchandise.
Okay.
Because then ODM would have to pay us for your hat. So we ask you to kindly remove it.
Because I have not combed my hair. I find myself in a dilemma. Therefore, I think I shall, if you give me some time, I will have to go and look for a comb somewhere.
I'm sure there's a makeup room.
Yes.
There's a makeup room.
Yes.
We'll give you a chance to do so.
That would be nice.
Yes, because we have to be fair to all other political parties.
Yes.
Because now we would have to have all of them so that it's free for everyone.
We'll see you guys soon.
In a few. Don't take too long.
No. As long if we find an Afrocom, I shall be back very soon.
Lydia
will help you. Lydia, if you see nice dimples, that's Lydia. She'll help you.
I usually try to, avoid to discuss people. But in this particular instance, we are discussing about what young people and young leaders in the movement represent and what they are actually inspiring other young people to do. And I would ask myself, have the mainstream political parties in Kenya been the change that we want to see? So then, what are we telling young people? Is it we are telling them that, the only way we are going to achieve this change is if we join the parties that have already created the failed system? Or are we supposed to create something new that has different values and styles of doing things? So I believe that's basically the difference between what I do and what Caswell does. Caswell is going back to the system that was there. Okay? Which I would say is a misled thought, is that he will go into ODM and change it. Which is not something that can happen in this generation or the next. So there's that need for us to shift from the old and bring the new. The same way the Bible says that the night is gone and morning has come.
So are we saying that essentially how politics will change, or how the leadership that we so earnestly search for today will change, is if you get rid of the old completely? You can't deal with the folks who were there before. You have to bring in new faces from top to bottom.
Yeah, because look at an example of Matiang'i. So when Matiang'i made a declaration that he will be running for president, some quarters were excited, but I was not excited because who is backing him up? Who is bringing him to us? Who owns him? The reason I've been agitating for people to fundraise from citizens is so that they are owned by no one. They are owned by the people. But here is a case where President Uhuru Kenyatta is fronting as a candidate. So essentially we are bringing President Uhuru Kenyatta back to power. So then we have a progressive person here in the place and name and style of Fred Matiang'i, but being backed up by the old guard. And if he were to come to power, then he will not serve us, but he will serve the old guard. So we have to change the system, the manner in which people actually come to leadership. And it's good to keep repeating this. When good people stay out of politics, bad people will lead them. And good people should not complain when bad people are leading them. If you believe you are a good doctor or a good lecturer or a good high school teacher, and if you were to go into leadership, you would be a person of integrity and you would lead our country to better heights and change and create opportunities. But you do not want to join politics. Then that criminal who is a wash, who runs a brothel, that person who is an international drug dealer, will go into politics because for them is do or die. They need this because it will help them escape justice, having some political power. So they'll do this as a do or die, and they will win, and they will decide your policies, they will decide your education system, they will decide your healthcare system. Oh God, they'll even decide what your pay slip looks like. So the moment good people stay out of politics, they should not say anything.
Morara, I couldn't agree more. I once penned a piece and said exactly the same thing, that Kenya is a country where goons, to be a politician essentially is to be a goon. But now to your comparison between yourself and Cashmore, I don't know whether you are aware of the conversation that allegedly Malcolm X once had with Martin Luther King Jr., where Malcolm X said, listen, I will remain radical so that they can negotiate with you. Because Martin Luther was the middle. So do you think that there needs to be both sides? The people inside the party and the people outside who are pushing for the new? Is there a balance?
Yes. We need to have progressive voices within the party. For example, in ODM, I can definitely note that Edwin Sifuna, Senator for Nairobi, is a progressive voice in the party. Babu Owino is a progressive voice in the party. James Orengo, I was surprised. He is actually a very progressive voice in the party. These are the people trying to say, well, you see, let's not erase our DNA. Let's ask ourselves, how did we become ODM? And how do we maintain that DNA by not becoming the same people who are going to perpetuate violation of human rights, something that we've been fighting for years. So yes, there needs to be progressive voices within the party, but we who are coming up, you see, we are without blemish. We are untampered with. We are virgins. It's not good for us to join in, because then we become part of the problem. It will rub off on you. Yes.
You seem to suggest that UDA doesn't have progressive voices.
It does.
Like whom?
That's
all right.
That's something that will take me a long time.
It does.
There's a problem in UDA.
There's
Let
a
me
point.
Just tell you what the problem is
Okay.
over there.
Yes.
Simping, and simps will see dust.
Okay.
There is
That's
a
a very Gen
simping
Z
problem.
statement.
You might want to say what
To-
simping is for
for
city's
city.
benefit.
Okay.
Yes, I was going to ask you.
You're
this same
speaking
thing.
in tongues.
Is it a process of drinking something? Is it a process of what is it?
No, simping is simply psychophancy.
Oh, simping.
Okay. So now, in UDA, everybody wants to please the president. Now, I don't know who told them the president is interested in being pleased. I have attended one political meeting in Kisii, which was supposed to be a development tour, where everybody who came to the stage, nobody talked about the people. Everybody talked about how the president is, how nice he is, his voice, his height, his dressing, what he did last week, what he did last month, how it is running the country very well. So everybody comes in to come and praise the president in a way that even makes the president doubt the praise. So everybody is saying, mtukufu rais, baba wa taifa, mimi nataka nikueleze kwamba watu wa hii area wanakupenda. Na hawa watu wamenituma kwako. Nikuambie kwamba ile kazi unafanya usiogope. Sisi tunakuombea.
But how do you know hajatumwa na watu? And then a broken clock is right twice a day. So
speaking truth to power is something that is lacking in UDA, because everybody wants to please the president for two reasons actually. One, they fear being denied the goodies of power. The flag, the security, the access to tenders, the access to powerful offices for brokerage of deals. They don't want the door to be closed on them, kwamba wao unapiga president huwezi kuingia hapa. So then they decide to simp without end. Okay? Then number two, they are looking at 2027. And they are seeing, probably because of the tribalism and because of the region where the president comes from, they are hoping for a ticket to be MP again, to be governor again, to be senator again. So it's a selfish interest where they think about nobody but themselves, and therefore they never talk about the people. They never talk about the roads. They don't talk about the hospitals. They don't talk about the stalled projects in the area. They are just there to praise the president.
Okay. So, Casmol is back. Still with Hattie.
Yes, I was told to come back with a thing. They couldn't find a comb.
Okay,
That's beyond my reach.
All right.
That's fine. Let's continue with
Welcome
this.
back.
Because
Asante.
while you were away,
Yes.
Morara told us that, one thing that he sees is that you would want to go into the ODM party as a member of the Youth League to change the way things are being done, as opposed to removing the people and have new faces, which Morara believes that that is a recipe for the kind of politics that we are looking for in this country. Yes.
Right. And for me, the thing which I've consistently said is I'm not joining the ODM Youth League seeking positions. For me, I don't care about it. And a lot of people have been talking and saying, oh, this is how the party works. For me, I just want to be in a place where we can revitalize. Because remember, a lot of the revolutionary voices that we have in our continent started from rather problematic youth leagues. Malema comes from the ANC Youth League, with his comrade at arms, Cyril, and even some of the people who've gone in Mkhonto. I am looking at this as a place that gives us a living, fighting chance. You know, previously when I was a free agent, some of the frontliners knew that they had parties. They knew that a particular lawyer would come and rescue them if they got into any sort of worry of legal troubles.
Of bother.
But now, in this particular youth league, I can come and say, hey, listen, I have, and I didn't just join any other youth league, because at the time there were several political parties. In fact, I sat here as the spokesperson for the NCCPA, which was the National Coordinating Committee of the People's Assemblies, and there were political parties in there. So when I looked ideologically, just a moment, when I looked at the ideology of the available parties, I said, this is the one that aligns with mine the most. However, there still is a lot of work that needs to be done. And now I'm joining as a member. So I hear people ask me, can you go against Raila Odinga? And I'm like, it is none of my business to go against him. My business is to ensure that in this youth league, the vigor that we had when we were on the streets, the ideological grounding that we had, the sharpening of our contradictions, the pursuit for a better country, the pursuit for accountability, good governance, and the war on graft, we can keep that fire burning, but in a structured unit of camaraderie.
I have a question.
Yes.
Permit me to ask.
Go for it.
So apparently when you went into ODM,
yes,
I was expecting that you'd be the national youth leader.
Yes.
But then I realized that the national youth leader is still John Ketora, who I'm told is 40 or 50, I'm not sure.
Yes.
And then I also expected you to be on the short list for permanent secretary. At least, you know, when I heard that you've left, I thought there was some consideration to it,
right,
that there's something good coming your way, and therefore you saw it as a chance that you don't want to miss.
Right.
When I look at your politics, and I'm not criticizing or trying to be, you know, all-knowing,
yes,
I believe you had a bigger voice, inside the Gen Z movement, and a bigger opportunity there, than what you have at ODM.
Right.
Because then ODM, you joined a structure that is already established, and you are joining at the bottom of the pile. So there are people here who've been waiting and longing to be at the top. So you're not just going to cruise way through them.
Yes.
But you already had a very high platform. So what is it that happened to you? Is it that you gave up on the people before they gave up on you?
I